Director said it was okay. Certainly. I feel like it's been
Hi everyone, I'm Joseph. This is Fed Up. This is a package delivery musical. It's nice to have you all here. Thanks for coming. I feel like we need more boxes. I gotta be honest.
I have another one in the back.
Oh, thanks. Okay, as they're recording, we're gonna. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Yeah. So this is part of this is part of a playwriting class that we are all in. Everyone here is in the playwriting class except thank you.
Yeah.
Except Daniel. Daniel's one of my, and Carly's also not. He just recruited right before this started. But we're all in a playwriting class that Alex teaches. So thanks for coming to be part of this staged reading of Fed Up. Hi, welcome. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, I was going to say, video recording is strictly encouraged. As the copyright holder, I grant you any and all video recording that you want to do. So, and we're recording with 2 other cameras as well. Thanks so much for being here.
Joseph, can I just ask
Yes, Alex.
Is there anything that you would like the audience to be looking at particularly, or do you have questions about particularly, or is it just enjoy to sit back and
Just enjoy it, sit back and watch. Yeah.
You want me to do character list?
Yeah, do a character list.
Okay.
Actually,
I'll skip the character list.
skip it, yeah. Hold on just a second, I'm coming to the second.
You don't need enough people.
Hopefully you figure it out. Okay, I also, as a brief note, I will be back here running sound, so if you hear me singing and cueing and doing things, just ignore it. Except the actors, you listen very intently.
We will.
You can go ahead when we're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Fed Up, a delivery musical by Joseph Phillips. Act 1. Lights come up slowly on a stage. 2 rival warehouses are shown side by side, UPS and FedEx. A large, intimidating wall separates the 2 warehouses. Several oversized cardboard boxes are in the warehouses, many more on the UPS side. Nothing moves. Greg walks on from stage left, the UPS side.
Ah, the warehouse. I remember starting out in a warehouse not unlike this one when I began working here at the United Parcel Service. UPS, you might call it. Ah, UPS. The greatest company on earth. 30 years I've worked here, and if there's one place I'd be happy to spend the rest of my life at, it's
FedEx. What a place. The honor I have to wake up every morning and walk into this wonderful edifice is simply invigorating. For years I've watched these hollowed halls. Now I run them as the operations manager. The only problem with this nearly perfect establishment,
the neighbors. Evelyn!
Greg!
I was reminiscing! You ruined my reminiscence!
Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I guess the warehouse isn't big enough for the 2 of us. Were you thinking about the time you accidentally delivered the live whale shark to an 8-year-old surprise birthday party?
That was an honest mistake!
Oh man, those kids were scarred for life!
You won't be laughing when we deliver twice as many packages as you for the 3rd time this week!
If only you could deliver them to the right place. Bigger doesn't mean better if your drivers don't know the territory.
Oh, they know the territory. And you'd better stay out of it too. We've been seeing some disgusting orange and purple trucks encroaching on our routes.
Where my drivers may or may not go is completely up to them. I can't help if they know faster routes than your drivers. Just another thing that makes us the best.
Now you take that back. Every single day, I see these walls of gray, this pilgrimage of packages that I call work. And though the days are long, it started crack of dawn, there's nowhere else and not a thing that I'd prefer. I'd love to see this place full of packages and tape. I'm the operations manager of UPS. And package start to end, I'm there around every bend, dispatching and remapping the GPS. But right next door there is a sign. We bring you the world on time. The only problem with my perfect world, that orange and purple logo makes me want to hurl. But each and every day, it's right there in my face, a color combination that insults my eyes. But look, it's 8 a.m., the workday now begins, and for just the briefest moment I can put aside my loathing and my enmity for that franchise. If you'll give me a moment just to narcissize, I take a breath and let out stress, cause I realize we're better than you. You can do what we do. We're stronger than you, and it's colored by two. You know it's true. Welcome to the UPS.
Brian and Greg obviously gave each other a high five. Evelyn is grinning menacingly from the other side of the stage. Chloe runs on next to Evelyn.
Everything's in place whenever you're ready.
Friendly next door neighbor here. I couldn't help but hear a cheer. If anyone deserves appreciation, it's the FedEx Corporation. But though our load is small, we make up for it all in hustle, speed, and quickness of velocity. Absolutely there, positively square, the fastest in the world, that's our philosophy. That's right, I'm saying you have less ferocity. An apt word to describe you is viscosity. I hope this next trick won't cause animosity.
FedEx workers jump out of the unopened boxes on the UPS side of the warehouse and start to spray orange
Tearing up trash
all over the UPS workers.
always one step ahead, delivering and not shivering, all up in your head. That's what we said. We're the FedEx.
There's a dance break as the FedEx ensemble makes their way over to the stage right with Evelyn and Chloe. UPS and FedEx vans are loaded.
Welcome to the UPS. I find your vans disgusting.
Yes, yours are slow.
PPPS. They're so liable to rusting. Honestly, they got to go.
PPPS. You're old.
PPPS. So are you. I don't have time for this. We've got work to do. We're better than you.
Tearing up tread.
You can do what we do.
Always one step ahead.
We're stronger than you. And let's hold it by two. You know it's true. Welcome to the UPS.
Blackout. The UPS truck rolls on stage driven by Brian. Chad is in the passenger seat being trained.
And that's how I ended up getting deported from Indonesia. Uh-huh. Wow, let me tell you, Chad, it sure is nice to have somebody else on this route with me. It can get a little lonely sometimes. Just little old me, Brian, bright delivery professional. Just me and the van, and some boxes. You go a little crazy.
You don't say.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure you'll learn that in no time. Here comes our next delivery. You want to take this one or should I? Okay, I'll do it! Man, the excitement never fades.
He runs out of the truck with the box, around to a porch, drops it off, and checks off a box on a clipboard, then runs back to the driver's seat.
What was my time? Come on, Chad, you're supposed to time me to see how fast I did it. That's okay. I'll make sure to time you your next time so that you can measure your improvement.
Right. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, let's go over some acronyms before the next delivery. I assume you already know the big three.
UPS.
Oh, Chad, UPS, you're a funny guy. No. There are 3 acronyms you must remember. FMCSA, MCSAP, and FMCSR. Got it?
No, I don't got it. What are those things and why are they so important?
Good questions! Look, here's another delivery. Your turn to do it. I'll be here timing you.
Okay.
He gets out of the van with a clipboard and goes around to the back to get a box.
How do you know which one it is?
There should be a tiny sticker somewhere on the box with a 5-digit code. That's the last 5 digits of the 17-digit tracker label associated with this address.
That's stupid. How am I supposed to Oh, here it is.
My little caterpillar is turning into a beautiful butterfly.
Do not call me that again.
Oh, I'm just messing with you, Chatters.
Chad groans again and mutters something. He slowly takes the box over to the porch and drops it off, crossing off something on the clipboard.
Come on, where's the hustle? Run! The dogs are right behind you!
Chad jumps away from the porch without looking and scrambles back into the car, only to find Brian with a wry expression on his face.
What? Where are the dogs?
Oh, there weren't any dogs. I was just preparing you for when there are. Great time, by the way.
Scene 3, back at the warehouse, Brian, Greg, and Chad are talking on the UPS side.
Yes, sir, I would highly recommend Chad. He's put up with me all day and shows quite the aptitude for delivery.
It's settled then. Congratulations, Chad. Welcome to the United Parcel Service.
Greg and Brian stand up straight and salute as Greg says the United Parcel Service. Chad awkwardly does so as well after them. He's pretty weirded out by them.
Thanks. You'll start next week. I picked you out a nice route along the lake.
Lakeside route, Lucky!
We look forward to working with you.
Okay, thanks. See ya.
Looks like you've trained another excellent recruit. I don't know what we'd do without you, Brian.
Probably deliver less than FedEx.
Oh, I don't think we could ever sink that low, but I am grateful for you.
I'm grateful to be here. It's the greatest job in the world, and I can't imagine anything making me happier.
Right. Welcome to the UPS. Oh, also, one of our drivers called in sick today. I know you already trained and finished your whole route, but can you deliver those packages as well?
Greg, why would you even ask me to do that? I would love to!
The UPS ensemble as Brian accepts. They exit and fade as the scene transitions to a peaceful neighborhood street. A FedEx truck rolls along on stage right and Chloe jumps out. She delivers a package, then checks it off the list. Deliver, check, always running back and forth from her car. At one point, she is stopped by an elderly lady who has clearly seen her deliver before.
Oh, hello, dearie.
Hi, Mrs. Montague.
Oh, the 100th time, Chloe, you can call me. Actually, let's just stick with Mrs. Montague. I keep my first name private for legal reasons.
How are the cats today, Mrs. M?
Oh, you know them. There's...
Every time Chloe names off a cat, Mrs. M pulls out another cat from the house until there's an absolute plethora of cats. They can be real or fake.
Mercutio.
Mm-hmm.
And Rosaline.
That's right.
And Tybalt.
Yes.
And Prince Aeschylus.
Of course.
And what about Friar Lawrence?
Oh, you know him. He's always going off and doing something that doesn't make any logical sense, but moves the plot forwards.
We're still talking about cats, right?
Of course. Now, dearie, did you have a package for me?
Sure do, Mrs. Montague. Here it is.
She pulls out a ridiculously giant package, some kind of cat thing in a huge box.
Oh, Prince Aeschylus has been waiting for this.
Do you need my help with that?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Friar Lawrence, you stay out of my cabinet! Thanks, dear.
Of course. Couldn't be happier.
Goodbye,
Mrs. M.
Goodbye, Chloe. See you Lawrence!
Mrs. M exits, calling after her cats. Chloe pets some of the cats and then runs back to her truck. One of the cats follows her to the van.
Oh, well, hello there, Prince Aeschylus. I didn't realize I was in the presence of royalty. I don't think Mrs. M would mind if you rode along with me for a few minutes, right? All right, come on in.
The cat jumps into the van and they start to drive to the next delivery.
I gotta tell you, Vicky, nothing beats a good day's work of delivering. It's not just work, though, you know. Some people stress every day of their lives over their salary, job, or career. Me, I get to just chill out and drive and live a lifestyle I hold dear. 'Cause it's more than a job, the way that I do it. It's more like you're part of their world. You might ask me how. Well, well, there's not that much to it. Just live every moment. If you love it, you'll show it. And I love it all.
We transition into a montage of Chloe's job.
From the way I press the parking brake to that cool Montana license plate, the roof of my old van is like a mattress sent from heaven. From way up here, it's oh so clear that someone kind is always near. See, there's my favorite street, and it's only 10:07. Homes and fancy cars, the sweet old lady, ceiling jars. Gee, thanks, Miss Barbara. I'm sure happy to know ya. And the happy shirtless yoga man. Great job, Bill. You're looking tan. Me and Mr. and Mrs. Corbridge. Oh, how are your begonias?
4 old people enter and call out to her.
Chloe, good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Graham. Alex Mackenzie Johns.
Hello there.
What's good about it?
Lovely to see you.
What's news?
Oh, we're just boring old folk. Nothing's new with us. Want to hear about you?
Yes, we've been missing your...
Yes, we've been missing your relationship drama.
Oh, well, there's really not much going on. You know, it's been a few years now since...
Justin was a cum.
Oh,
Well, what's wrong then?
it's just that...
Come on, let the girl talk. Go ahead,
It's
Chloe.
just that every guy seems the same. They're also perfect in small bay, and you meet a guy and the one, finally, but he just looks, he doesn't have the layers underneath. But right now, that's okay with me. One day I might maybe meet the perfect man who's deep and also sweeps me off my feet. I know they love to ask, but I just want this to last. Let me cruise the streets of town and meet new friends along my route. I want this forever. I'd love to see these people get together. Everyone tells me to find something new, and that may be true, but I'd have to like it better. I could do this for forever.
2 kids enter and slowly surround her car with Nerf guns.
Hey kids, what's going on?
Don't play coy with us. We know you have the goods.
I don't know what you mean.
Quit stalling, give us some packages, or we'll shoot.
Surely you wouldn't harm a defenseless delivery driver.
Don't try it.
Yeah, we mean business.
Fair enough. You can hit me. You can have any package you want. Ready, set, attack!
A dance break occurs where the kids try to hit Chloe with their Nerf guns. She does all sorts of fancy maneuvers and backflips and is never hit by a dog. After being frustrated in their attempts at amateur burglary and extortion, the kids decide that Chloe is pretty alright, and they join in the dance with her. Eventually the kids exit and Chloe's left alone on stage with the cat and her band.
The question words I can't ignore. Is my future waiting out my passenger door? This won't last forever. My life is gonna change, is that for the better? I'm afraid that if things change, I'll lose this awesome life I've made. The work is only temporary. Could something make it secondary? Could anything be more to me than package delivery?
Brian enters, but they do not notice each other.
Right now, does it matter? As the rain falls, pitter-patter, through the gray clouds I can see a silver lining. I love my life, and nothing can ever take that away. Any sort of change would only help me gain more love today and forever.
Chloe finishes the song. She jumps in her van and drives off, crossing Brian on her way out, starting the next scene.
What in the warehouse was that?
He looks around, and then, out of nowhere, the same van shoots by again, nearly knocking him over and parks at the house next to Brian's van.
Whoa! Who do they think they are driving like that? They could have killed me. Dirty Fed, I'll give them a piece of my mind.
He marches over to her car. As he walks over, Chloe runs out of the car with a package under her arm. She runs to the porch, delivers the package, and checks it off her clipboard. She also drops off the cat because we can't forget to tie off that loose end. She turns to come back out of her van, or to come back to her van, and her and Brian lock eyes for a moment. She smiles. Ding. Then the moment passes, and she runs back to her FedEx van and drives off in a rush. Brian is shaken from head to foot as he has never seen a woman or anyone delivering packages with the same zeal that he does. He is smitten and sits down on the curb of the road.
I saw an angel. I think I saw her smile.
I think this is the fastest that my heart has been racing in a while. Just seeing her deliver made me start to grin. And on this, such an average day, I've got a warm and nervous and excited feeling within. And as she drove away, I felt my smile begin to fade. It's hard to put to words what I feel when seeing her. Did love just drive away? Is that what I have felt today? It's just a moment, yes I know, but I didn't know moments could feel like home. I'm not quite sure what happened. I'm not sure what to say. But I'm not quite sure what happened. I'm not sure what to say. But I'm content to pause and feel this way in this place where she drove away.
Back at the warehouses, Greg and Evelyn are sitting at their desks, dimly lit. Greg's phone rings. He picks it up.
You've reached the United Parcel Service. This is Greg. How may I help you?
Hi, Greg.
Evelyn! How'd you get this number?
It's on your company website, genius. Aren't you going to ask me why I'm calling?
No.
He hangs up the phone with a slam and the light on Evelyn goes out. Another awkward pause. The phone rings again and he immediately picks it up and slams it down. The phone rings again. He picks it up.
Fine, what's the meaning of this?
I just thought you might be interested in some friendly competition.
No, we're not friends.
It's an expression, Greg. Here's the thing, my fastest driver happens to be 75% done with her route, and I couldn't help but notice she's right next to one of your drivers. Driver ID BB Bright 99.
That's not just any driver. Brian's my very best, and his route is 75% finished as well. Are you proposing a race?
Nothing official, just to see who's faster, your best against my best, and perhaps a little incentive for the winner.
How about a sandwich from that deli across the street? I hope you've been saving your lunch money. That place is expensive.
Sounds perfect. I'll be waiting for my sandwich from you tomorrow.
Ha! Not a chance. No one delivers faster than Brian.
He realizes she's hung up. He pauses for a second, then dials the phone for Brian and calls him at the same time as Evelyn dials the number for Chloe and calls her. This transitions into the next song. As the phone calls happen, we transition out of the warehouses and into the neighborhood where Brian and Chloe are delivering. Brian picks up the dispatch call first, and then Chloe.
Brian, this is an emergency. Don't panic, but I've entered you in a race with a Fed. Just deliver all the rest of your packages as quickly as you can.
Huh?
Go fast, Brian, really fast.
Yes,
He
sir.
jumps in his van and speeds up right as Chloe speeds on behind him. Chloe's dispatch phone rings and she picks it up.
All right, Chloe, they've taken the bait. You've been training for this moment for years. Finish your route as quick as you can. We're all counting on you.
Yes, ma'am.
She does something impressive. Maybe a backflip out of the car or something. And then checks it off her list. Greg and Evelyn fade into the background and exit as Brian's car comes back onto the stage. It's a tight race. We see Brian's van going ahead sometimes, and sometimes Chloe's van goes ahead. There's a projection on the back wall of houses going past at ridiculous speeds. They talk and flirt through the windows of their cars and out in the open as they deliver the packages.
seen you before.
No, I don't think we've met.
Is that as fast as you can go?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
His van pulls
So
ahead.
what's your name?
I'm Chloe, and yours?
My name is Brian Bright.
Nice to meet you. Maybe later I'll see you, but now I gotta leave you behind.
She pulls ahead laughing. She stops their vans
You
momentarily.
have a really smooth box drop.
Thanks, I've been working on it a long time. Nice check marks.
Thanks, I wrote them myself.
I need to go.
Yeah, me too.
Chloe starts the chorus, so she leaves Brian.
Driving 60, going on 70, on this tiny little neighborhood road. Can't afford these feelings that yell at me, saying maybe he's the one, don't you know? But I'm not looking for something new. I'm safe and fine to stay where I am. I don't know him, but I know the you, and I'll stay as far away as I can. But if he's the one, if he's the guy that flips my world upside down, then how do I keep on going, all the while knowing my life could be something more, but he works for the wrong company, and that alone should be enough for me. So I'll push the needle to faster speeds, driving 60, going on 70.
Though Chloe's still making up her mind about him, Brian is completely smitten with her. In a rare moment of farce, his van goes past and he isn't steering. He's just resting his head on his hand and staring at her.
Well, normally I don't.
Oh. I totally get it, 100%. I mean, this whole thing is kind of taboo. But what if it wasn't? I mean, well...
What?
I mean, if you were a Fed and I wasn't from the U, maybe you know, it'd be nice because we could, you know, maybe see each other.
What do you see in me?
What do I see? Are you kidding? You know, I mean, you were driving 60, going on 70 in that tiny little neighborhood road. I never met someone who could match my speed. I've never met someone who drove like you drove. And the way you deliver your packages, it's like a hurricane, but the rain is a box. I'm not saying you're a cataclysm. I'm just not used to sharing my thoughts. But you rushed right past me and you caught my eye. You flipped my world upside down. How do I keep on going? All the while knowing my life is forever. Change, but we work for the wrong companies. You think that would put a stop to things, but now I see the world differently. From driving 60, going on 70.
Nobody's ever seen me like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry I called you a hurricane. Sometimes I just say things before I think about them.
No, I mean, everyone's always told me I try too hard.
And you need to stop making them look bad.
Right, and my only friend really is my boss.
But they just like you because you do the work so well.
Exactly, and until now I've never met anyone who makes me feel
Equal.
Yeah.
They are very close, so focused on each other they almost forget to breathe. There's a timeless moment where no one is sure what will happen next. Especially not Brian, who blurts out,
I don't know what's happening.
Chloe smiles at Brian's absolute lack of experience with love and decides it's time for her to take over, and that she's going to give him a chance.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just finish dropping off my last few packages and call it a day, and then I guess we'll never see each other again.
She kind of walks away. Brian looks like he's been hit by a van. Then Chloe looks at him over the shoulder with a smile.
Unless, of course, you think you can finish your route faster than me.
Huh? I don't know. I think I can.
I'll take that bet.
Hang on a second. What bet?
If I finish my route first, you have to buy me lunch. And if you finish first, I have to buy you lunch. Please recognize that I'm flirting.
You're on, but I have to be honest. It sounds like a win either way.
Huzzah, thinks Chloe. He's finally catching on. She walks over to her van.
I've got 5 packages left. What about you?
Brian walks over to his van.
Same for me. It should be about 2 minutes. 1 minute on a good day.
As long as you're not distracted by something.
Like what?
There's a pause as Chloe looks at Brian mischievously and smiles.
This!
Chloe runs over to Brian's van and sets off his car alarm, then runs back to her van to deliver the packages. Brian turns off the car alarm, laughing, and races off after her. A dance break ensues as they chase after each other, occasionally trying to block each other from delivering packages by dancing. Eventually, Chloe throws one of Brian's packages over a fence and runs back to her van to deliver her last package.
I thought you were my enemy, but you came, now I see differently. Driving 60, going on 70. The world passes by in the blink of an eye. How useless is life unless you let yourself try to take your chance and drive real fast, like 60 going on 70.
Chloe delivers her last package just before Brian.
Okay, you win, but I think jumping over that fence to rescue the package you threw over it and still being this close should count for something. So, I owe you lunch now then?
You sure do. How about the deli across the street from the warehouses next Saturday?
5 days never sounded further away.
Oh, it'll be here before we know it. But just in case it doesn't come quick enough, here's my number if you want to talk before then.
Chloe writes her number on a piece of paper and gives it to Brian. They're both giddy.
I guess I'll see you around, Brian.
Bye, Chloe.
It's the first time he has said her name. You can see his world change at that moment. Chloe exits and Brian's left alone on stage. When the orchestra begins, he raises his hands in joy and begins to just cry. After sitting in this emotion for a moment, he begins to sing.
I hardly even know her. This feeling's hard to explain. But this, I'm sure, my world has changed today. In this place where she drove away.
The next morning, back at the warehouses for Loda, full cast on stage, Greg, Brian, Chad, and UPS Ensemble on the UPS side, and Evelyn and Chloe and FedEx Ensemble on the FedEx side. Everyone is milling about at a normal pace, but Brian and Chloe are both out of it. Moving really slowly, continuously looking at the wall that separates them, thinking of the other person. Throughout the scene, they move closer and closer to the wall and to each other. Greg and Evelyn both call their companies to attention.
Excuse me, everyone, your attention, please.
Everyone, listen up! I have an announcement!
Everyone stops what they are doing and looks towards their bosses, who are both standing on some kind of pedestal.
In recent days, it has occurred to me that we have become a little too casual, even careless, in our complete and utter hatred towards our rival company.
Yesterday, we took a big step, a leap even, in the history of our company.
Even I myself have been too free in my communications with those people.
We have long known that we are the superior company, yet that has been continuously challenged by our neighbors.
In order to maintain company pride and establish absolute dominance as the best delivery company,
yesterday it was proven by one of our very best that we are, in fact, statistically, the best. Chloe, stand up and take a bow, will you?
Chloe stands in a little timidly and nods, mild applause from the FedEx side.
I am introducing an irrevocable and unchanging ban on any and all communications with any person associated with the Federal Express Corporation for all time and perpetuity throughout the universe.
Brian gasps and looks towards Chloe, but all he sees is the wall.
Their company now will forever acknowledge us as the greatest delivery company. Let this stir in your hearts, let it flow through your soul, and allow yourself to feel deep within yourselves that they are beneath us and must be treated as such.
Should you ever happen to be close to a FedEx truck, follow safety procedures carefully outlined in this pamphlet and stay as far away as possible. Are there any questions?
From now on, I don't want you to even notice that they're there. Don't talk to them, don't look at them, definitely don't speak to them. Are there any questions?
There are various mumbles and murmurs from the crowd, and Greg and Evelyn shout at the same time.
Is this understood?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Very well. Go on with your day, and remember, if you see a Fed, stay away.
Excellent! Have a wonderful day, everyone!
The crowds disperse and go back to loading things, but do not exit. In the confusion and murmuring that follows these announcements, Brian and Chloe make their way up the set, climbing until they can see over the wall to the other side. It's almost like a balcony. Weird. Chad watches Brian from the ground.
Chloe! Brian!
Chloe arrives by the front by Brian. They see each other and are overjoyed, but they don't know if they hug yet or just shake hands. It's awkward. They're just happy to see each other. Time stops for a second.
Hi.
Hey.
They both remember their concern and start talking at the same time.
Oh,
I
I need
have
to tell
big
you.
news, okay?
Sorry, you first.
Okay. They're cracking down on the rivalry. I'm not supposed to even look at you, let alone talk to you.
Same here. Greg is really upset. Something horrible must have happened.
Or he's just crazy.
Hey, I know it's not right, but he's still a good guy if you got to know him.
I'm sorry. You're right. It's just so deeply ingrained to hate you.
I know, for me too, but that doesn't mean we have to give in to that. I don't know, I think we have something special here.
Me too. And I'm not going to give it up just because I'm a Fed and you're from UPS. This is bigger than that.
Okay, I just had to see you. We need to keep this spot a secret. Everything and everyone is going to be against us. Can this be our secret spot?
I won't tell if you don't.
A happy moment. They're close. The moment fades and they need to get back to work.
I guess we have to go to work. Wow, it's never felt so sad before.
I know. Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, bye.
He scampers down from their spot and into the UPS warehouse. Chloe hesitates for a moment.
Bye, Brian. I'll see you later.
She heads down as well, back into the FedEx side. Greg sees Brian coming down and heads over to him.
Brian, can I have a word, please?
Brian looks like a cornered animal. He is nervous for Greg to see him right through him.
Of course. I'm just packing my truck. Yep, ready for another day.
Brian, I'm sorry for entering you in that race. I shouldn't have done that without you being mentally prepared for it.
No, that's okay.
But how did you lose? No, you're the best guy we have. How did you get beat? By a Fed.
Brian thinks about Chloe and smiles a bit, thinking about her racing past him. He's just through some projections in the background.
Brian, hello? What's going on? Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I bet on you and I lost. That means I have to go buy a sandwich for the ops manager of FedEx. Disgusting!
Maybe they won't be that bad.
Everyone on the UPS side stops moving and looks at Brian. There's an awkward tape dispenser noise. Greg looks dangerously at Brian.
What, Brian?
Maybe they're not that bad?
How dare you think that? You know who they are, Brian. You know what they do. What is wrong with you?
Greg notices everyone is watching.
Everyone back to work.
The ensemble slowly go back to working and loading.
You'd better be careful, Brian. Something's going on here, and I don't want you caught up in it. I need you, Brian. We need you.
Thanks, Greg. I'll see you later.
Brian exits and the scene slowly fades. Everyone exits with Chad leaving last. He stays on the stage for a little bit, looking up at Brian and Chloe's spot, then over at the FedEx side. Then he turns around and exits. I'm skipping the dating montage page. A deli across the street from the warehouses, we can see the double warehouse in the background. The deli is stage right, and we can see Brian and Chloe at a table by themselves. There is one worker and a few people milling about. Brian and Chloe are happy, but they're slightly nervous of getting caught.
So you're telling me you've never let an animal ride along with you?
No, that would be a total breach of protocol.
Kind of like getting lunch with a Fed?
Oh no, that would be much worse. Can you imagine me, Brian, bright delivery professional, getting lunch with someone from the rival company? Absurd.
But seriously, no pets in your van?
Well, the dogs usually just try to eat me, and cats run away when I get close. So, no, never given a ride to a pet.
Chloe just stares at him, smiling.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing, huh? Because that really seemed like there was something there.
Oh, I was just thinking about converting you to being a cat person.
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, it's not my fault the cats don't like me.
You just have to give them time to warm up to you. I think they'll like you once they get to know you. Just like me.
It is a cute moment. Then Chad enters wearing a fanny pack, and things start going downhill.
Brian?
Brian so tense up.
Hey, Chad, how's it hanging?
Fine. It's fine. Are you from FedEx? I've seen you at the other warehouse.
Chad, is it? Funny, I haven't noticed you.
I'm pretty new around here. You should get to know me better if you like, babe.
Brian is bristling, but he also has no idea what to do.
I appreciate the offer, but my boyfriend here
Referring
was
to
just
Brian,
about
he goes
to
from
tell me
bristling to absolute shock.
all about how many cats he wants to have in the future.
She waits for Brian to say something, but he's still in shock for being called her boyfriend. He just stares wide-eyed into the deli. Chloe nudges him and he talks.
Yeah, wow, lots of cats.
Cat scowls but doesn't give up.
Fine. Well, if you're ever looking for something less nerdy in your life, you know where to find me, babe.
And if you're ever looking to impress a girl, don't ever say babe again.
Chad grumbles something and he walks back out the door where he came in. You see him head off in the direction of the warehouse.
That was awesome! I mean, not awesome that he was like all weird and into you, but awesome how you stood up to him.
Thanks, babe.
On a serious note, you called me your boyfriend? No one's ever called me their boyfriend before. Am I your boyfriend? Are we dating? Because I don't know what to do as a boyfriend, and I kind of thought I would know beforehand how to behave.
Whoa, dude, it's okay. Chill out. I just said that to get Chad off our backs. We're not dating yet.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm not good. Of course, I want to date you, but it's not that I'm desperate. But did you say yet?
Don't worry about it, okay? I'm going to the bathroom. Can you watch my stuff?
Yeah, I can do that. Am I worrying too much? You can tell I'm kind of new to this.
Chloe touches his hand on the table and they look into each other's eyes.
I think you're perfect. Okay, I'll be back in a second.
Brian lets out a big breath of relief as Chloe walks to the bathroom. Meanwhile, Chad has arrived at Greg's office and knocks on his door. Greg opens up and greets Chad.
Oh, hello, Chad. How can I help you?
I just thought you might want to head over to the deli across the street. I just think there's something over there you want to see.
Is it delivery associate deal day already? Oh, no, that's not for another month. What's going on?
I think you'll know once you get over there.
Yeah, fair enough. Not an errand I need to run over there anyway.
You run errands at a deli?
Never mind that. All right, I'll leave in just a moment. Thank you, Chad. I'm grateful for all you do for our company, especially for a new hire.
Greg closes his office door and Chad stands outside for just a moment and says quietly and menacingly,
You have no idea.
I don't know what that means exactly, but Chad said it, so there you go. Chad exits and we hear Greg calling on the telephone. Evelyn's voice answers for a missed call.
You've reached Evelyn, Operations Manager of the Federal Express Corporation. Please leave a message after the tone. If this is Greg, I'll take a Reuben on rye with Swiss cheese and no mayo. And you're late, by the way. Leave a message.
I'm not late. I never agreed to bring it yesterday. You're late. Dang it.
He leaves his office and goes to cross the street to the deli. All the while, we can see Brian by himself in the deli. Will he and Chloe be found out by Greg? Greg presses the crosswalk button to cross the street. He waits.
Oh, these darn crosswalks never turn into the walk sign.
He continues waiting. The crosswalk turns to walk and crosses the street. As he is about to enter the deli, he realizes his shoe is untied and kneels down to tie it. Then he finally gets to the door and goes to walk in, but suddenly everyone is leaving at the same time. He holds the door open for several people as they walk out. Just as he thinks he has let all the people out, more people come out. And he stopped holding the door. Finally, He's able to go inside, and he sees Brian by himself with Chloe's stuff.
Oh, Brian, it's nice to see you outside of work.
Brian is extremely tense, like in the warehouse scene from the day before, but much worse.
Oh, what's wrong? You seem tense.
What? Oh, nothing, just enjoying the deli.
As well you should. You work hard, Brian, and you deserve a rest on the weekends. Nice purse.
Greg walks over to the counter to make an order. Brian wipes sweat from his brow as Greg walks away, and Chloe enters from out of the bathroom. She notices Brian's tenseness.
What's wrong?
My boss is ordering a sandwich right now.
They both look over to the counter where Greg is ordering.
Okay, I'll take a Reuben on rye, Swiss cheese, and as much mayo as you can. That's right, just pour it on there. Name for the order,
We should be okay as long as he doesn't recognize who I am.
You're right, just change your voice a little.
Greg finishes his order and turns around. He sees Chloe at the table with Brian and comes over to talk to him.
Oh, hello, you must be a friend of Brian's.
They're both very tense and scared to reveal themselves.
Yes.
Well, it's nice to meet you. Right, I'm Greg. I work with Brian. What do you do for work?
Brian and Chloe stare at each other in panic. Brian decides to try and save it.
She's a yoga instructor.
Chloe looks at Brian with a what the heck?
Yep, that's how we met. I went to go do some yoga, far away from work, like totally unrelated to anything about work. And then, yep, there she was, yoga-ing, and I was there, yoga-ing too. More yoga than you could shake a stick at.
Chloe and Greg just stare at Brian.
Well, if that isn't just the most Brian thing I've ever heard. Anyway, it's nice to meet you. What did you say your name was again?
As Chloe is answering the question, Evelyn walks into the deli and sees Chloe talking with Greg and Brian.
Chloe?
Evelyn?
Brian? Greg? Brian! Lawrence!
They all turn in the direction of Mrs. M off stage for a second and look confused. There is a beat, and then heck breaks loose.
What are you doing talking to my best driver?
Your best driver? No. It can't be.
First you ignore our agreement, then you start talking with my workers. And who are you? Some double agent from the UN, I assume?
No, I'm...
Don't back away from it, Brian. Bear our name proudly. I might ask what your best driver is doing with my best driver. No doubt trying to smuggle trade secrets and bring down our glorious corporation.
Hey, that's
Hush,
not...
Chloe! You don't need to defend yourself to this hypocrite! But surprisingly, he brings up a good question. What is happening here?
Yes, what's the meaning of this?
Brian and Chloe look at each other in fear. Their forbidden romance has been discovered. And they try to figure out what to say. There's a moment of silence and tension. Then Evelyn and Greg both say,
Well?
Chloe looks to Brian and takes his hand.
It's going to be okay.
Then she stands up and Brian follows. They stand facing Evelyn and Greg, hand in hand.
Me and Brian, we don't want to fight anymore.
What? Right, we think that maybe, just maybe, we could be different and still get along.
Greg grabs Brian and Evelyn grabs Chloe and they take them to opposite sides of the stage. Brian and Chloe reach out for each other, but their bosses stand between them.
Let's be cool.
Stop! No, let's go. No.
You're acting way too over the top.
You just don't get it, do you?
The things that he'll do to you.
She'll leave you for some hot shot.
I know you think you're different, and no one ever listens. But please give this a thought. Chloe, I care about you. Please don't ignore this. Give it up. He's not worth the trouble. Keep your head up and get out on the double. But you sped up. Looks like you dressed up. Now that you've messed up, punch
to take Chloe and leaves into the warehouse.
Greg, what are you doing?
Just keeping you safe.
But Greg, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Happy? You don't know what you're getting into, Brian. I'm protecting you. Are you going to trust me, your mentor and oldest friend, or some random person from an evil company that hates you? Listen to me, Brian. This is important. Don't fall in love. It takes away what you were. This crept up. I wish I caught it sooner. Don't mess up. Stay ahead of. Dreaded upward feeling getting snubbed. Nip the bud before it starts to bloom more. You'll be fed up.
Girl in the warehouse.
You don't get to make my choices.
You can't silence our voices. You're not listening, just let me get a chance to understand me.
Walks away.
Ryan, what are you doing?
Romantically.
I'm fed up with all this useless fighting. So now I'm done. I'll just go back to driving. My heart bled up. Now I'll end up confused enough to leave but not move on. Chloe, I'm sorry, I just don't know what to do. It's time to drive away. I'm so far from you, I can't let up, have to just keep fighting. No way. Now we're set up, won't let up, we will stay fed up. We're fed up. We're fed up. We're fed up. Yeah.
Act 2. Weeks have gone by, and Brian and Chloe have not seen each other. The lights come up, and Brian's van pulls on slowly. It is raining. As Brian slowly gets a package from his van and delivers it, he walks dejectedly back to his van and plops in the driver's seat. He looks up at the rain.
I wonder if it's raining where you are too.
He turns on his van and drives away. The scene transitions and we see Chloe's van pull on from the other side. She gets out slowly and delivers a package. It is in fact raining on her too. She walks back to her van and then climbs on top of it and looks up to the sky as well.
What was I doing? Why did I let myself fall in love when I knew it could never work out?
Brian is somewhat more in the foreground now, though they are very clearly in different places. He begins pondering as well, and the conversations overlap and interweave.
But I thought for just a second, I thought it could work out.
I thought it wouldn't matter about the rivalry.
But it does matter, I guess.
To them, at least.
But why do they get to choose what happens to us?
But does it matter what they think?
It's not fair. Chloe,
Brian,
I'd never fallen in love before. I didn't even know what that meant.
Brian, you were the most awkward guy I'd ever met.
And I never imagined I'd meet someone who could deliver faster than
But
me.
then I got to know you.
And the more I got to know you,
It turns out
the more I just wanted to be with you all the time.
you're not just this weird, energetic, crazy
And I
delivery
realized
driver.
You're perfect for me.
And you're gone. 70, with gray hair, a cane, crooked nose. Your dentures would gleam when you'd smile at me. Isn't that the way that it goes? Sure, hard times would come. It might get tough. Put your hand in mine, and they couldn't stop us. For the home we're flowing with
on her as an instrumental melody begins. The lights slowly come up on her and Brian next to each other on stage, but in different worlds.
Oh, not yet!
One.
When you drove away, I felt my heart begin to cave. It was just a bit of time, but now I'm changed for all time. I thought that we could do it.
I dreamt we'd be okay.
I prayed that we would come to see the day where we wouldn't drive away.
But then drove away.
Brian and Chloe get in their vans and exit in the direction they came as the lights fade slowly to black. Back in the warehouses, a scene happens between Brian and Greg, and then between Chloe and Evelyn, whose relationships can never be the same. It is time to load up for a new day, and Greg tries to strike up a conversation with Brian on the UPS Center.
Morning, Brian. Another great day at the U, isn't it? Nothing quite like the open road ahead of you and hundreds of packages behind, am I right? Well, best of luck to you out there today, old friend.
Being called friend, Brian stops what he's doing and looks at Greg.
Yes, Brian?
Brian opens his mouth and looks as though he might say something. Then he sees the spot between the warehouses where he and Chloe used to meet, and he's hit with a fresh twinge of pain. He finishes packing his van and exits without saying a word. Greg looks to the spot behind him between the warehouses and seems to begin to understand something.
What's with him? Has anyone seen Chad? We'll need extra help from him today, especially with Brian being so down.
Greg exits in the direction of his office. The scene transitions to the FedEx side where Evelyn and Chloe experience something similar.
How's the load looking today, Chloe? Good! I'm glad it's not too much because I'd love to train a new recruit this afternoon.
Chloe looks up helplessly at Evelyn as if to say, no, please, not today.
You'll be fine! You're our very best and we need you!
Chloe is upset and begins loading her van aggressively.
Besides, I think this will be just the thing to get you out of the little funk you've been in.
Chloe stops loading, looks at Evelyn with anger in her eyes, and slams the backup door of her van shut. She looks longingly once more towards the post, the spot between the warehouses, and then exits in her van. Evelyn looks down and then turns around as well to see the spot where Chloe was looking to. She sighs and exits into her office. A FedEx truck rolls on stage driven by Chloe. The trainee is in the passenger seat, but we can't quite see who it is yet.
And that's how I got exported to Indonesia.
That's not your story, Chad.
Gasp! The new trainee in Chloe's van is none other than the dastardly Chad.
What are you calling me, a liar? Because they say girls go for the bad boys.
Chloe simply cannot right now stop the van.
Here you go. This is the parking brake. That's the clutch. Make sure to stop at all stop signs and don't drive into a tree.
She gets out of her car with Chad looking somewhat shocked, still in the passenger seat.
You just leaving me here?
Absolutely.
But you're supposed to train me.
You'll figure it out.
Don't you need a ride home?
Obviously not.
A pretty girl like you shouldn't have to walk home all by yourself.
That's it!
Shut up, Chad, and leave me alone.
She storms off and exits.
Yeah, she's totally into me.
Chad looks around the van and holds up a purse, Chloe's, and starts going through it. He gets bored and then goes to the driver's seat and starts the van to start delivering packages. The UPS van enters the stage from the opposite side. It is Brian. Brian sees Chloe's FedEx van when he gets out to deliver a package and almost can't believe it.
Chloe!
He drops the package he's holding and runs over to the van to see her, only to be smacked in the face by the door, which Chad opens on a monstrous burp. Brian gets up quickly and is confused and exceptionally disappointed.
Chad? What are you doing in a FedEx van? Wearing a FedEx uniform? With a FedEx clipboard?
Come on, buddy. You can figure it out. I know you can.
He pats him on the head like a dog.
Don't talk to me like that. Is that...
Oh, this old thing? Yeah, it's Chloe. She asked me to hold on to it for her.
What do you mean?
Because we're dating now.
You're lying!
You wish. After the bosses have separated you guys, Chloe came running back to me, begging me to come over and work for her at FedEx's. She looks so cute, I just had to say yes.
You don't deserve her!
Chad holds Brian's head at an arm's length as Brian tries to switch.
Come on, dude. You don't stand a chance against me. Looks like you really miss her, huh?
Brian tries to get around Chad, but Chad just shoves him to the ground.
Well, that's lame.
Brian tries to get up, but Chad kicks him.
It's too bad, too. You just missed her.
Brian looks around desperately.
Nah, she's not here anymore. We were getting a little too steamy for being in public. So she said she'd head home and wait for me there.
That's not true!
Chad pins Brian down on the ground and stands over him menacingly.
Believe what you want, little man. Don't worry. We'll send you a postcard from the honeymoon.
Brian finally stops fighting and just lays resigned on the ground under Chad's oppressive weight.
That's right. Now listen up. Some people stress every day of their lives about salary, job, or career. Me, I just don't.
Brian looks confused and the sudden stops singing, seemingly in the middle of the introduction. Chad sees his confusion.
What?
Nothing. I just thought you were gonna keep explaining your backstory and objective and everything.
No, it's really not much to tell.
Yeah, all right then. But like, if you were, if you had any kind of motivation for being such a bad guy, what would it be? I'm just curious.
Well, never really thought about that. Let me try to think of something. I'm Chad, and I don't need a reason. I'm just bad Chad. And I hate the Christmas season. Chad, don't try to analyze me. Bad Chad. The way this heart's resizing. Anything that's happy makes my anger grow. When I hear something sappy, I just gotta ruin it, you know? Puppies and rainbows, sugar and spice, if they all disappeared, gee, that would be nice. Because I'm Chad. Chad.
Brian looks nervous.
Yeah. Let's go.
What's wrong? Afraid of me? No, it's not you. They're right behind you. Dogs, Chad.
Oh. Yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna fall for that one again.
On this line, several dogs violently start barking and surrounding Brian and Chad. It's chaotic and scary.
Why do they look so angry?
Don't move, Chad. It's a well-known fact that the delivery man is the natural enemy of the dog. It's in their blood.
Better back off, or I'm going to fight.
No, don't be aggressive. That'll only make things worse.
Brian gets down on one knee and looks towards the dog closest to him and lowers his voice, trying to speak kindly.
It's going to be okay. I'm not going to hurt you. I know you hate me, but it doesn't have to be like that.
As Brian is talking slowly to the dog, it jumps forward, almost biting Brian, but stops early. Brian puts his hand up to shield himself but sees that the dog isn't actually attacking him. He slowly lowers his hand and pets the dog, which is now friendly to him.
See, Chad? They're really not that... No!
reason.
After kicking the friendly dog, the rest of the dogs become much more angry at Chad. They are barking more viciously now and circling
Totally
Chad.
a reason. I'll do it again if I have to. Come and get it.
The dogs attack. Chad is looking at the ground. Just as the dogs are about to attack him on the ground, an elderly grandpa voice calls out from off stage.
Woofles, is that you?
An old man walks on stage with a pickleball paddle.
Oh, there you are. Oh, hello. I see you've met the neighborhood dogs. They're really quite tame.
The old man and Brian look at Chad lying almost lifeless on the ground.
Right, of course.
I'm Sheldon Graham, but you can call me Shelly. Alex, Mackenzie, John, your dog's over here.
The three older folks from Jersey walk along with pickleball paddles.
Oh, my kitty hand. Are you darlings all right?
We're okay.
He was asking about the dogs.
Oh.
Why is there packages left, right, and center here? What's going on?
Oh, nothing, just a new trainee. He's still figuring some things out. Anyway, nice to meet you, Shelley Graham, Alex Mackenzie Johns.
Pleasure.
And you as well, my dear boy. What's your name again?
Oh, I'm Brian. And this guy on the
we
ground...
don't care about him. Brian, you said.
Yes. Is that unusual?
A UPS driver.
Though not as handsome as described.
Oh, I can't see. Hush.
Tell us, Brian, do you usually take this long delivering packages, or are you normally quite a bit faster?
Brian smiles as he begins to understand what's going on.
Quite a bit faster. Have you heard of me before?
The four old people gathered together and whisper, occasionally throwing out some phrases like, "We should tell her," and "But didn't he leave her?" and "No, that was just because of capitalism." And eventually they break apart and turn to Brian.
We have a friend who's much younger and sprier than us.
Speak for yourself, Boomer.
Anyway, she met someone, and she would always update us on their romance.
But then the updates stopped coming. We asked her what happened, and she told the company rivalry that tore apart the flower of their relationship before it ever had the chance to blossom.
As Shelley's told the rest of the story, they all begin to tear up except for Mackenzie, who has lost interest and has walked over and started kicking Chad.
But if there's a chance for the relationship to continue...
Give it up already, the past is dead.
That will help in any way we can.
Not everything is against you, Brian. We still believe in you.
Aww, a touching moment. And Brian gives them all a big group hug.
That's really sweet of you. Thank you.
Brian is interrupted by the ringing of the dispatch phone in Chad's van.
Hello, Chad. Are you there? Is everything okay? We saw some vicious-looking dogs run in front of your dash cam. I'll be there in just a second to check on everything. And I see that there's a UPS truck nearby. If Brian has anything to do with this, I'll have to take care of him myself once and for all.
You must go!
Run, Brian! They can't you hear those? Here, then you'll lose any chance of ever seeing Chloe again.
I say stay and fight.
Ignore her. Run. We'll stay here and distract them.
Find Chloe and confess your love for her. We believe in you, Brian.
Thank you all so much. You've all been so helpful.
Brian gets in his van and exits, and Shelley Graham, Alex Mackenzie, and John pull out their pickleball gear to prepare to fight whatever comes their way. Back to the warehouse. Brian runs in breathlessly. He looks around frantically and then almost runs right into Greg.
Oh, whoa there, Brian, calm down.
Sorry, Greg, I gotta go.
Now hang on a second, Brian, I've been wanting to talk to you.
But Brian is off in his own world, looking through all the packages in the warehouse.
What are you doing? Brian, I'm trying to say I'm sorry.
Brian finally stops and looks over to Greg, surprised.
Really?
Yes. I've treated you poorly and you deserve my apologies. There's the thing, Brian. I got so caught up in keeping this company upright and, frankly, defending my own pride that I prioritized policy over people.
Brian seems uncomfortable at the time.
Sometimes you lose sight of the most important things in life. You get caught up on little things and forget to take the time to sing. Some things are bigger than boxes. Hold on, Brian, I'm having a heart-to-heart moment with you.
Great, thanks, I really appreciate it, but how about if I just...
Well, all right then. Wonderful. Now then, what were you here for?
I need to go confess my love for Chloe, but I don't know where she lives.
You don't what?
I don't know where she lives. So I'm going to look through all of these packages until I find one addressed to Chloe. It's a foolproof plan.
Brian?
Yes, Greg?
That's a good idea.
I know! Can you help me look?
Sure.
They look for packages until finally Brian pulls one up triumphantly.
Here it is!
Run!
Chloe Johnson, 1597 Verona Way.
Run!
That's got to be her!
Run to her! Brian!
Okay, bye, Greg.
He runs excitedly out of the warehouse.
Ah, young love.
Greg looks up longingly at the spot between the warehouses. After a moment, Evelyn walks into the other warehouse. Both are empty except for Greg and Evelyn. Greg slowly gets up and begins to make his way up to the spot between the warehouses. Evelyn does the same thing, both without the other knowing. Greg gets to the top and calls out in a stage whisper. He doesn't know that Evelyn is already there.
Evelyn!
Greg.
How do you know I was coming here?
I didn't. I thought I was alone.
Oh, sorry to ruin your reminiscence.
No, it's fine.
So, I heard one of your trainees got bit by a dog today. Tough luck.
I'm sure he'll be fine. It was his fault. You know, I've seen some star-crossed lovers come up to this part of the warehouse.
Yeah, I know. Brian and Chloe. Who would have thought, right?
No, I was thinking maybe 30 years before that. Two young and energetic delivery drivers happened to meet while delivering one day.
I know the story. They started to like each other, but with the rivalry between the companies, it never would have worked out.
So they said goodbye and never thought about each other again.
Until I saw you with Brad.
Oh, come on, Greg. Me and Brad were never a thing.
That's not what he told me.
What?
Hey, Brad told me you broke up with me so you could be with him. So you didn't have to date someone from the rival company.
Well, he lied. I loved getting to know you.
I did too. Evelyn, maybe it's time to give it up.
We already gave it up a long time ago, Greg.
No, that's not what I mean. Kind of the opposite, actually. I think it's time to give up the rivalry.
How dare you suggest that? After all you've done to us, to me?
Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but people are getting hurt, Evelyn. And I don't mean dog bites. I just had a real heart-to-heart moment with Brian, and if that doesn't start happening more within our companies and between our companies, then what does it matter how good we are at delivering packages? Something needs to change, and I think it needs to start with us.
So, not enemies anymore?
Maybe friends, even.
How about we start as professional acquaintances and then work our way up to friends?
Right, yes, that sounds good.
And then maybe more.
More?
Well,
Than friends.
well, yeah, isn't that, I mean, like, that's what you were saying, right? Like, I didn't pull that out of nowhere, you know.
No, yeah, no, yes.
Yes.
To your question.
What was my question?
Well, I'm going to go see the drama that ensues. The conclusion of a star-crossed lover story never disappoints.
Greg, don't you think we should give them a little space?
What? And let them make their own decision?
Sure, what could go wrong?
From offstage, we hear the voice of Mrs. M theoretically talking to Chloe.
That's right, dearie. Just drink the potion and pretend to be dead. What? Of course this will work. I got this idea from Lawrence!
We need to leave right now.
Yeah, let's go.
They exit and the scene transitions to 1597 Verona Way. Verona Way, a normal street upon which normal people live doing normal things. Brian drives up frantically and loudly, breaking the peaceful silence. He looks down at the package one more time, confirming the address.
Yep, 1597 Verona Way. This is it!
He runs over to the house and knocks frantically on the door and starts talking before the door's even opened.
Hello, Chloe, it's me, Brian. I'm sorry I ever drove away, but I mean, you drove away too, and then we couldn't see each other, and then I ran into Chad, and he told me how you two were dating, and oh yeah, he's probably in the hospital right now. And that made our old pickleball playing friends, and they told me that you think maybe we still have a chance, and I think we still have a chance. So I tried to find your address, but Greg was waiting for me, and then I was scared he was going to try and stop me again, but then we actually just had a really nice talk, well, kind of, and then he was helping me with a package address to you so I could get to your address, so I could come here and tell you that I love you, Chloe, and I just wanted to tell you before it's too late.
As Brian talks, he gets down on one knee to prepare to maybe propose or something when she opens the door. The door swings open to reveal not Chloe. There is a random unfamiliar girl standing in the doorway. She looks confused.
Hi.
Brian stands up awkwardly and backs away.
Not Chloe.
No?
There's a really awkward pause as they both stand there, unsure what happens next.
Do you know anyone named Chloe?
Yeah?
Pete, is she going to explain on that? That was the answer.
Okay, does she live here?
Yeah, she's my roommate.
Oh, great! Oh, okay. She's mine. Well, it's complicated.
Sounds like it. Well, I mean, just all the stuff you were saying through the door.
Right, you heard all of that.
Yep.
So, do you know what time she'll be home?
The random girl points over to the side of the stage, but Chloe's just walking on, having walked all the way home from ditching Chad. Brian yells, runs over to her, spooking her.
Chloe!
Chloe peeks fast, pulls out her pepper spray, and sprays Brian in the face.
Ow!
Brian! I'm so sorry you surprised me! What are you doing here?
I came to do it! Holy packing tape his hearts!
I'm sorry. It's my own pepper spray recipe. It's designed to take out a grown bison in 3 seconds.
Oh, Chloe! I miss you so much!
Overcome with emotion and pepper spray, they embrace and hold each other tightly, not letting go. Unfortunately, the pepper spray is still hanging around Brian and gets in Chloe's eyes too.
Oh, the pepper spray is getting in my eyes now, too!
It's so painful, right?
And yell and walk up looking confused. Random girl is still standing in the doorway watching. Shelly Graham, Alex Mackenzie, and John all roll up in a FedEx van that they appear to have hijacked. Eventually, the screaming and the pain has subsided a little bit, and Brian and Chloe look at each other holding hands.
Chloe, I thought I lost you once, and I don't ever want to do it again. I tried going back to real life, but it wasn't life without you as a part of it. I've always loved delivering packages, and I never thought anything could mean more to me than that, but then you came along, and suddenly there was something I realized could last forever.
But if you really mean all that, I need you to promise me something. Please don't drive away.
I won't drive away. Believe that I am here to stay. I pledge with all my heart and promise not to part. I'll never drive away. I'll love you every single day. No matter what may stand between, we'll be together until 60, going on 70, and then even more hopefully. I'll never drive away.
The ensemble gets a cheer. Lights fade on Verona Way, a long blackout. 1 year later, after the long blackout, lights slowly come halfway up on the empty warehouse. The wall dividing the two companies has disappeared. Do we see wedding decorations? White streamers and balloons and any and all other wedding festivities are seen covering the whole of the warehouse, but nothing moves. A giant cake is seen in the middle of the warehouse where the wall used to be.
The bride and groom would like to thank everyone for coming to this beautiful ceremony and wish you a safe ride home.
Greg, what about the party?
Ah, yes, thank you. The bride and groom would like to personally invite you to their reception at the newly refurbished Fed Up Warehouse.
Here comes the characters. The full cast except Brian and Chloe run on stage and begin dancing. The lights come up to full party mode.
Never thought we'd up and knock that wall out. No, but here we are.
I get shocked to hear that we don't fall out, that we don't fight or spar.
Some things change, we stop the hate, and everyone can see. Some things you choose, some things happen to you. Some things you can't control, but love is all up to you. So we choose to love, we choose to sing, we choose to dance and throw a fling. We chose to stop our petty war. We're not so fed up anymore.
Great dancing and fun. Brian and Chloe appear at their balcony spot between the two warehouses wearing a tux and a wedding dress.
I lost all my resentment. You filled my heart with love.
It took a sec, but finally we spread it with each and every one.
Our company's changed. We stopped the hate, and everyone can see.
I object!
The cake!
Chad has exploded out of the cake.
That's right! Fear me!
Drift off of him.
I object to the wedding of Brian and Chloe!
Chad!
I wasn't finished. On the following grounds...
Chad, they're already married. This is just the after party. You can't object anymore.
Oh, yeah? Watch me. I object!
Nobody's really sure what this means. Everyone turns to see Chloe's roommate in the back corner, apparently Chad's #1 fan. It's weird for everyone, including Chad, who has no idea who this person is.
I love you, Chad!
In the quiet awkwardness, Mackenzie has walked over to Chloe and whispered something to her. Chloe smiles briefly and hands something to Mackenzie, who then comes stage center right next to Chad. She stands there for a second and Chad looks confused. She pulls out pepper spray and sprays Chad long and hard. A moment of silence. Then everyone cheers. The music starts up again and we sing the chorus.
Things you choose, some things happen to you. Most things you can't control, but love is up to you. So we choose to love, we choose to sing, we see the good in everything. We chose to stop our petty war, and we're not so fed up anymore.
Brian and Chloe's slow dance, mirrored by Greg and Evelyn.
To you, I can't believe it's real. Never let an old-fashioned view control the way I feel. We'll move on and we'll forgive, but we'll let ourselves forget how we've changed and how we've grown and how the best is yet to come. Some things you choose, 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 some things happen to you. Most things you can't control, but love is all up to you. So we choose to love, we choose to sing, we see the good in everything. We hope this one's been waiting for, and we're not so fed up anymore.
Greg and Evelyn do something moderately romantic. Greg and Evelyn do something moderately romantic. Chad is still writhing in pain in the background, and everyone else is doing jazz hands. End of show.